but we're going to recap now and switch gears to the UFC. We had a UFC fight night that was in Perth, Australia, and it was the light heavyweights. We had New Zealand's number 3 ranked light heavyweight Carlos Ulberg fighting the number 7 ranked light heavyweight Dominick Reyes. Both guys similar in age, Ulberg 34, Reyes 35, and I thought, Bud, that the commentators you give a lot of credit to all the time. I see why, and they did an unbelievable job with this one. It didn't last long, but it didn't take them long to figure it out. Wasn't much going on in the opening minutes, but they made the observation and the point that Ulberg was getting closer and to that range, and this is not good for Reyes because Ulberg might land soon. And sure enough, fast forward a few minutes later, and boy did he land. Not sure what Reyes was thinking jumping in the way he did, not even set to punch, and walks right into a beautiful 1-2 by Ulberg, a devastating knockout, a huge statement win by Carlos Ulberg. He might have put himself in position, we shall see, but with that statement, he might be the next man up for next week's UFC 320 main event, the light heavyweight rematch versus Ankalaev and Pereira. Just want to get right into it. Your thoughts? What'd you make of this one?
He's going to be the next man up. He's got to go through some tough men to bypass them because, man, those couple of next men up, it's a pretty impressive list. He would have to pass up some really impressive guys, but he put himself in position to make that a possibility with this signature win, with this loud win, the way that he did. And you're right. I hate to say it, it's my sport. I've been in 50 years, but for the most part, I'd have to rate the commentators, especially the color commentators, the ones that are supposed to be the experts telling you what's happening, what's going to happen. I'd have to rate the ones on UFC better than on the whole in boxing. I'm sorry. I mean, there's some good ones in boxing, but on the whole, I mean, if you really go down the pike, and you look at them week in and week out. Look, one thing is the UFC pretty much rotates their B and their A group, right? They got their A group, they got their boxing. You got guys from all over. I mean, there's more shows. You don't know who.
One thing to that.
Yeah, I
mean,
boxing.
But the UFC, Bud, they make their best commentators work.
Better. What's that, Bud?
They let their best commentators work. The best commentator in the world, I'm staring at him, and he's not on a network. And that's why the commentators are better. They let them tell the truth where boxing wants to muzzle it.
No, I didn't want to
interrupt you, but as you said those were my feelings that I feel to my toes.
I didn't want to lead you into that, Bud. I know that's all love and thank you. But listen, I'm not looking to go there, to be honest, at all. I'm just saying that I always try to say what I believe and what I see for the fans out there. I feel like that's supposed to be my commitment to do that and my job to do that. Listen, there is an excuse a little bit because with boxing, you have all different promoters. In UFC, you got one. You got Dana White putting it together, and he overlooks the talent in everything. In the cage and behind the mics. So it's more controlled and it's very competitive, even with the commentators. So he puts the best of the best in, again, whether it's in the cage or behind the mic. Boxing is different. It's freelancing. You got a whole bunch of different promoters. You got the high-end promoters, you got the middle ones, you got guys that are the Johnny-come-latelys that are doing little shows here and there. And sometimes you get good commentators. I said that already. And sometimes you're not getting the pick of the litter. Let's put it that way. Let's be nice. You're not getting the pick of the litter. You're getting some guys that aren't the best, that aren't really giving you what you would hope that somebody in that position that's a responsible position, would be giving you. But Dominick Cruz and Paul Felder, I think they were the ones on this one. They did a hell of a job. And I mean, Dominick Reyes, you got to feel, I'm not saying you feel bad, but man, after he never quite got there, did he, bud, to live up to what he had people thinking after that performance against the great John Jones, right? I mean,
that's a common theme. A lot of guys are never the same after being in there with John Jones.
Isn't that an interesting point? When you fight a guy like that, and you fight someone that good, that special, right? That damaging in the way that he can be, you might get ruined. Not everyone did, but I'm just saying, when that is part of the signature calling card of the greats, that after you fight him, you might not be, you might not live up to the promise. You might put it all together for one night against that great fighter, but then all of a sudden never have anything close to that night again. And Reyes never really had anything close to that night again. And again, people was so up on him. How could you not be? But he fell short off of that expectation from that night. Anyway, getting back to Ulberg. Ulberg, he showed me the blueprint and the proper approach with that blueprint, that if he did fight Pereira, he'd have a shot, because he was cautiously aggressive. He was very gradual about his aggression. He was very, very controlled and defensively aware. He wasn't reckless. He was just very deliberate. You have to be. That's why Ankalaev had the success he did with Pereira in their first fight. He was deliberate. He was cautiously aggressive. You can't make mistakes with Pereira. You get caught with the counter. That's one of his strengths, especially that counter left hook. So he did show me that if he is next up with Pereira, that he's got a shot. He's got the right idea, the right style, the right mentality. Finish up on this one. Listen, Dominick Reyes was moving around, trying to keep Ulberg off balance. I understand. He was trying not to let him get set. Ulberg's a good puncher, good striker. He was keeping him. And then all of a sudden, when he finally did decide, this is what I don't understand. When he finally, you don't either, because we watched it together. When he finally did decide, okay, this is the moment, I'll pick my spot, I'll attack. I mean, he just did it so recklessly. He did it so amateurishly. I was shocked. Like he came in on the wrong foot. He didn't come in behind a jab. There was no feint. There was no knock on the front door, and then come in the side door or knock on the front door, get the counter out of the way, and then come in safely and cleanly. He just launched himself. It's like he tripped. It's like somebody at your door, and you open the door and they trip coming in. They trip coming in and they fall right down in your foyer. You say, oh, Jesus, how hard were you knocking? When I opened the door, you fell down. You could have just came in. I wasn't gonna bite you. When he finally at that moment of attack, he came with Ulberg ready, set, and then he just came in so wide open. And he got caught the 1-2. I mean, he got, it was simple work. It was basic work. It's like he actually did the work for Ulberg. I said to you earlier, you set it up on the tee. Now all I have to do is hit it. He set it up on the tee. And Ulberg hit it out of the park.